Hey traders, David Frost, My Strategic Forecast. In this video, we're going to talk about something near and dear to many traders' hearts. It's about trading psychology. There's many components to trading psychology. For this sliver of knowledge, we're going to discuss the thing that sits between our ears. It's our brain. But it's not just our brain, it actually has an alter ego. That's what we're going to discuss. We'll gain an understanding of the difference between our brain and our mind. The first question we'll answer is, what's the difference between our brain and our mind? Just as important as the fact that there is a difference, we'll learn why there's a difference. Why our conscious mind must be aware of the difference. Once we're aware, and only once we're aware, we'll be able to apply that awareness to our trading, and finally, we'll get one whopper of an eye-opener how to manage the psychological part of our trading, the emotional part of our trading, and marry that together with the strategic part of our trading. Let's begin to understand the separation of brain and mind. Here's how we're going to define brain. The brain is the dominant force. The brain is the animal force. The brain has the animal instincts. The brain is the dominant chart. The brain is the monthly chart. But here's what we need to understand. Here's what we need to know about the dominant force. The brain holds the emotions that work against us while we're trading. These are the emotions we need to learn how to manage. The brain controls fear, greed, passion, FOMO, fear of missing out, anticipation. We anticipate how much money we're going to make on a trade before the trade is over. We immediately move our stop to break even for fear of losing on the trade. These are just some of the emotions that many traders fight every single day. Traders are fighting their brain. Who's on the other side of the fight? Who's coming to the rescue? Our mind is coming to the rescue. Our mind is the voice of reason. Our mind thinks rationally. Our mind thinks in probabilities. Our mind understands realistic profits. Our mind understands risk-reward. Our mind allows us to lose small and fast, as taught in the course at Lazy E-mini Trader. Our brain encourages us to trade on hopium, hoping the trade comes back in our favor. Let's go through a couple of examples of how we balance the difference between our brain and our mind, the struggles with our brain versus the rational thinking with our mind. Here's an example of a stock that appears to be on a runaway. Our brain says we're missing out on opportunity. We feel FOMO, fear of missing out. We want in on the profits. So we hop in thinking we're going to ride the wave higher with everybody else. Our brain wants in the trade. If we allow our mind to play a role, before we get into the trade, we want to look farther. We want to see if it's rationally appropriate from a chart perspective to get in the trade. We want to assess where our risk is. We immediately do some of the things that are taught directly in the course at Lazy E-mini Trader. We go to a different time frame. We want a different visual representation of what's going on. So while we're thinking of getting in the stock somewhere near the highs, our brain wants to play the momentum. Our mind flips over to another chart and realizes we're at resistance. Our mind recognizes what just happened. Our mind recognizes that in the course at Lazy E-mini Trader, the market, in this case, this stock, EQT, just did something that happens over and over and over again. It's taught in detail in the course. Our brain wanted in the trade. Our mind wouldn't let us in. Here's another brain exercise in the other direction. This is one of the stocks we discussed in late 2018. Our brain says, how in the world can I buy a stock that seems to be going down every single day? It looks like it can go down below 20. It looks like it can go anywhere. how do you buy something that's going down? If we allow our mind to get involved, the voice of reason would say, the stock is heading to a destination. Where's that destination? How do I find that destination? I use the tools and the techniques that are taught in the course at Lazy E-mini Trader. And the voice of reason quickly finds out that we're actually at a good risk-reward price level for more than just the reason of price, but it was also price and time. Again, these are things that are taught in the course, but the voice of reason needs to understand and know these things. Knowledge is power. When the voice of reason knows these things and the brain allows the mind to get involved, we then and only then begin to effectively manage our emotions during the trading day. Our goal is to trade mechanically. Our goal is to trade rationally. The voice of reason needs to be the professional trader. Hopefully, this gives everybody something to think about and they can work on each and every day. Understanding ourselves is the first order of business throughout any part of our lives. I'm David Frost, my strategic forecast. Thanks for tuning in to the Great Mind-Brain Debate.